What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the dastardly dread pirate Dr. Disaster, and today is the day that Dragon Quest III's HD-2D Remake comes out, and an outpouring of people saying that they don't care was heard all across the land.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out, "Who gives a shit?"
Dragon Quest III's remake has been lambasted due to the censorship the game is employing by covering up the female warrior and screwing with the art of the late, great Akira Toriyama, while also embracing woke, gender ideological shit from the West, calling the two gender options in the game body type A and body type B is simply dehumanizing, and it is an assault on the sensibilities of anyone with the sense that the good Lord gave a dog.
You can't fix stupid.
I have been saying for a while now that this game is not trending to sell well. The number of pre-orders that were being reported to me by my sources in retail was extremely low. There was precious little chance that the game was going to do very well, and it looks as though I was correct. The game is out now, and over on Steam, we can see the number of players that the game has, and it does not look particularly good considering the pedigree of this game and the amount of money that they must have pumped into it. It's shit like this that has caused Square Enix to lose the faith of so many gamers over the past few years.
Trust me.
No thanks, bro.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter or X, or whatever you want to refer to it as these days. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But alright, let's dig on in to this Dragon Quest III situation. The game is out now, and after I talked so much about how this title was going to flop, we can finally see whether or not I was correct, or at least we can get a hint as to whether or not I was correct. This weekend might change things, the game might increase in the number of players playing it, but the one thing that Dragon Quest defenders will hang their hats on right now is the fact that the game has hit number 2 on the Steam chart's top seller list, which is impressive sounding, at least in a vacuum, but context is required. You see, there is absolutely nothing competing with Dragon Quest III right now. The middle of November is a barren desert for new games. Most titles either come out earlier in the fall, or they will wait until after Black Friday and during the holiday shopping times in order to drive up their sales numbers. This is precisely why Dragon Quest III chose this time period in the first place. They knew there would be no competition, so they're hoping to sneak it in and get some people to buy it while there was nothing else that gamers were budgeting for. It's a reasonable marketing strategy, but it means that this is not very impressive to see it spike up to number 2 on the sales charts. That's like winning a game of tic-tac-toe where nobody else is playing against you. But anyway, as you can see here, the game has been out for a little while now at the time of this recording, and there are currently around 13,000 players playing the game, which does not speak to a particularly healthy number of buyers for the game overall. Now, I grant you that this is not exactly a major AAA game. It is AAA, but not something along the lines of like Dragon Age the Veilguard, or Call of Duty, or Star Wars Outlaws, or Space Marine 2, or even a Final Fantasy title. As far as AAA games go, this was always going to be a comparatively minor AAA title, but it is still AAA. And that means that the budget was always going to be, at a minimum, tens of millions of dollars. And at $60 a pop for this game, considering that 25% of the price of the game goes to the outlet that sells it, whether that be PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, or your local GameStop, but 25% of that purchase goes to whoever sold it. And once you remove that 25%, that means that Square takes home $45 per sale. Now, if we do the math, then this means that every roughly 222,000 copies of the game sold will net Square about $10 million, the bare minimum cost of AAA games these days, and I doubt that you could do it for this amount while also factoring in marketing, but the bare minimum is $50 million. These days, Google estimates that most AAA games cost between $50 and $150 million. But if we assume that it's $50 million that it costs to make this game, then that means they need to sell around 1,100,000 copies at full price in order to break even. And that's assuming the best case scenario for the cost. And based on the number of players on Steam, I strongly doubt they will be able to get to that number. Now, I know that one of the primary audiences for this game will be the Japanese market, and many of them will be playing this game on PlayStation, so Steam isn't necessarily the end-all be-all indicator as to how this game is doing, but it does give us a strong indication that the game is not selling well. It's possible that the title will pick up when the weekend hits, starting tomorrow. It's very possible that this game will end up making money. The power of nostalgia is a hell of a thing, and some people, the cultural auto intake crowd, might not be able to say no. But I don't think that it is doing all that well at this rate. It needed much higher numbers than this. And this is really sad for me because I love the old Dragon Quest games. I revere the work that Akira Toriyama put into these games, and I also understand that the OG developers didn't want their games censored. They don't care for this body type A and B nonsense. They were discovered to be making fun of that crap and calling it a weird religion in an interview a few months back at the Tokyo Game Show of 2024. The mainstream media, which we shouldn't even call them that any longer because they aren't really that mainstream anymore. I guess it's more accurate to call them the access media. But anyhow, the access media went way out of their way to discredit that video as a mistranslation, but it was accurate. There was no mistranslation. This was just a cope for these weirdos who really can't stand to be the butt of jokes. So I feel bad for these devs who really didn't want to add this woke and censorious, puritanical crap into their game. But based on my personal principles, I said hell no to this game, and it looks like I'm not alone, based on the Steam player count. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of woke nonsense into the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.